Okay, so hopefully by now you've done the first and second demand worksheet, and this is going to be an explanation on how to do the second demand worksheet. So the first one says, in the car market, consumer income increases. So if we look up here to the top of our page, it says factors that shift demand, and one of them is consumer income. So we know this one is going to shift our demand curve. So we have a price and a quantity, because that's always what you should start off with. We have our original demand line, and if we have an increase in income, that means consumers can purchase more, so they're going to increase the demand in the car market. The second one says, in the egg market, a marketing campaign is released telling customers how to eat eggs. And so really what we have to do is think here, if you don't know how to cook something, would you go out and buy that product? Probably not. I don't tend to buy products that I don't know how to cook with. So if someone is going to teach me, so for instance, the government or the Egg Association is going to teach me how to cook with eggs, then I might be willing to go out and try some. So with that means we're going to see an increase in demand for eggs. Moving on to number 3, in the horse market, we see a decrease in the population of consumers. So once again, remember that you always need to label price and quantity. Put yourself an original demand curve in there, and if we have a decrease in population, so if there are less people out there to buy the products, then that's going to be that there is a decrease in demand for the product. So you would draw your line shifting to the left. The fourth one says, in the jelly market, we've seen an increase in the price of peanut butter. And you'll note on the end there, it says that there's 2 graphs for this one. So we need 2 graphs because we have 2 different products. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a peanut butter graph. We'll put our jelly graph over there. So we know that this is the basic setup. So we're going to have a demand graph on our peanut butter graph, and we're going to have a demand graph on our jelly graph. So let's start and go back to the peanut butter one. We see an increase in the price of peanut butter. So we'll start with a price line and a quantity line. Remember that quantity goes down where your price line hits the demand curve, because this point means that we're going to, at this price, buy this much quantity. That's what our demand curve is showing us. So an increase in the price of peanut butter, draw an increase in your price, put a new line in there, draw a new quantity where your demand or your price line hits your demand curve, and we see to go from Q1 to Q2, we're going left, which is a decrease. So if we're buying less peanut butter, we're going to buy less jelly, because peanut butter and jelly go together. For the last one, it says, in the gas market, consumers are expecting the price of gas to rise. What happens to the current demand for gas? So if we go back up here and look at our demand shifters, we see that consumer expectations will shift the demand curve. So we'll draw ourselves an original demand curve. And if you expect the price to go up, what are you going to do right now? You're going to go buy gas, because you want to pay this lower price. So we'll see an increase in demand for gas if we expect the price of gas to go up.